Freedom, just in time for Christmas.
Excited, I'm so happy. I can pick up my sister and we can spend Christmas together.
It's been a very stressful last couple of days, but pretty happy that they're getting out now.
Oh, really good, yeah. Before Christmas they're getting out.
Howard Springs will tonight open its gates and let people out of quarantine after the NT government revoked most of its hotspots.
The Greater Sydney area, including the Blue Mountains along with the Central Coast, will be removed effective immediately.
Parts of Sydney's northern beaches will remain a hotspot, with the government deciding which areas on a suburb-by-suburb basis. While life is opening up for some in the Territory, it's a different story for people who were on a Darwin to Sydney flight last week that was carrying 2 passengers who later tested positive for COVID-19.
The people who were on the flight from Darwin to Sydney are now considered close contacts and will be immediately tested and asked to self-isolate for 14 days.
One of those passengers was a Qantas cabin crew member who worked on this repatriation flight that landed in Darwin from Paris on Thursday, before taking a domestic flight to Sydney the next day. He developed symptoms while in isolation on Sunday and later tested positive. Another man on the same flight today returned a weak positive result in South Australia, which authorities say is an old non-infectious case.
The thing that was made it a little bit difficult for our staff to put 2 and 2 together was that they were quite widely separated on that flight.
Tara Venn and her son, who has cystic fibrosis, are in isolation in Melbourne after catching the same Sydney flight.
Pretty upset and annoyed because we did everything in our power to do the right thing.
She wants the NT government to tighten restrictions on flight staff.
The logical common sense thing to do would have been to separate that person like we separate all international arrivals.
But the Chief Health Officer says he has no plans to change the rules.
This has been happening ever since the beginning of the pandemic, but it's done in a COVID-safe way.
Meanwhile, 2 more people have tested positive to coronavirus in Howard Springs after returning from overseas. A 31-year-old man who flew in from Paris and a 64-year-old woman from India have taken the Territory's case tally to 74. Cameron Gooley, ABC News, Darwin.